Nanak Naam Chardikala Tere Bhane Sarbat-da-Bhala. The everyday prayers of Sikhs is literally incomplete without this last sentence. What is Chardikala, and why do Sikhs pray for Sarbat-da-Bhala, or the welfare of the entire humanity in their everyday prayers? Let us try and find answers to these questions with the help of this video. We all live in a society where we are subjected to external validation or verification from external sources on how we tend to act, think, or behave. There are always some external factors influencing us on how we act, think, or behave, rather than how we should be acting, thinking, or behaving in various circumstances. For example, if we have to define success, how do we define it? We usually define success based on societal norms, that we tend to compare our success values with some societal values, such as number of degrees or certificates that we have earned, or the wealth that we have accumulated, our asset value, our financial position, power, or rank, or status in the society as compared to somebody else's. And all these parameters that we use to define success are basically based on comparison and verification from other sources. If we are unsuccessful, we usually tend to blame external circumstances or other people rather than taking blame on ourselves for ourselves being unsuccessful. Similarly, if we have to note our progress, how do we note our progress? We take the help of key metrics that are used to measure our personal growth indicators. These are the indicators of our personal growth, like percentage growth, profit loss analysis sheet, annual turnover, quarterly reports, number of fan followings that we have, number of impression values that we create, and all those other parameters that we use to measure the growth. Or maybe, like, if we are working, then the number of responsibilities that are delegated to us, and all these things that we use to measure personal growth is also based on comparison on what is being imposed upon us by external circumstances. So eventually we as humans or society have become so accustomed to these societal norms that we are basically blinding ourselves, that leads to compromise of our core human values. When this compromise happens, so basically the results are not always motivating. They are generally demotivating or not so encouraging, because these norms are based on societal values that have been set using human ego or human desire to dominate others, rather based on human character, human values. What if the society was framed using the human character of kindness, gratitude, or thankfulness? Then we wouldn't be falling into this loop of comparison, and we would be comparing apples with oranges, or lions with elephants, and dogs with cats, or cats with rats. Our society would have been much more happier, living in harmony and peace. There would be no discrimination or evil things or humanitarian crimes that would surface so often. So if we were to build our society based on human characters and human values, then the world would have been at much more ease and much more peace with each other. But unfortunately, that is not the truth that we encounter in our everyday life. So basically, now we come back to the question that we posed initially. How do we indulge in righteous living? How do we stop comparing ourselves with others? How do we overcome this factor of external validation? What it is that fuels our self-motivation, belief, self-encouragement? what it is that fuels our creativity, uniqueness, our awareness, and our liberty. Guru Nanak Dev Ji gave the philosophy of Kirat Karam, Naam Jap, and Vanchak, which basically means indulging in righteous living by earnest and honest means, Naam Jap, remembering God, meditating upon the Lord, and Vanchak means sharing with others, contributing back to the society. So, Guru Nanak Dev Ji's philosophy basically emerged as three pillars that laid the foundation for Sikhism. It basically helps us to overcome from this loop of comparison and focus inwards. It fuels our inner soul and encourages us to do good rather than thinking or comparing ourselves with other people or subject ourselves to external factors. So eventually, Kirat Karo, Naam Japo, and Vanchako, these become the phrases that enables a person to boost encouragement and enter into a new hope that Sikh society started calling as living a life of Chardikala. Now, Chardi in Chardikala basically means ascending, rising, progressive, or dynamic. And Kala basically means energy, spirit, skill, or ability of a person. And when we combine these two words, Chardikala literally means rising spirit, progressive energy, or dynamic ability of a person that enables a person to remain optimistic and cheerful. It enables a person to face difficult challenges of life, to overcome adversities of life in different situations. Living a life of Chardikala means Sikhs accept the will of God, or Bhana. Bhana means the will of God. So Sikhs accept the will of God that whatever good or bad that is happening to them is only temporary. This enables them to overcome their personal fears or hesitation and fuels their inner soul with new energy, hope, and enthusiasm that enables them to face difficult situations in life. It enables them to face life adversities with faith, belief, and tolerance. Accepting the will of God means it gives them a firm belief that God is only testing them in difficult times, and the world will prosper or nurture as per his own innate desire or will. So Sikhs pray for the welfare of the entire humanity, the term that is called as Sarbat-da-Bhala. So by accepting the will of God and by indulging in righteous actions of Kirat Karo, Naam Japo, and Vanchako, Sikhs tend to remain in positive, optimistic, buoyant, and a cheerful state of life, which they term as Chardikala. Now, Naam Jap here is extremely important. Naam Jap means recitation of the Lord, enchantment or meditation upon the Lord's name. This basically enables them to recall the divine energy themselves. This enables them to recall upon the divine energy that God himself would extend a supporting hand in resolving the mortal's affair. So by Naam Jap, the Sikhs call upon the divine energy to become their helping hand, to become their support system, and help them in overcoming the difficult situation or overcoming various situations of life. So basically it boosts encouragement and motivation. So when Sikhs pray Nanak Naam Chardikala Tere Bhane Sarbat-da-Bhala, they're basically making a humble supplication before the God or before the Guru in their everyday prayers that may the world prosper as per divine will. and may the divine energy become their supporting system, become their helping hand, and which boosts them, gives them hope for living a progressive, cheerful, and optimistic life. So I hope we were able to understand what Chardikala means and why do Sikhs pray for the welfare of the entire humanity. So on this occasion of Gurpurab, birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Nanak Jayanti, I wish you all a very happy Gurpurab. Nanak Naam Chardikala Tere Bhane Sarbat-da-Bhala. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.